This is PJD1 94.7 Mix FM St. Maarten, your 24-hour news source.
You are St. Maarten. You are St. Maarten.
The URSM, the Unified Resilient Sint Maarten Movement, being a political movement, will be hosting a weekly radio program called You Are Sint Maarten every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on the Radio Mix 94.7 FM. I myself, Dr. Messalina, the political leader of URSM, will be hosting this radio program in which current issues, actualities, and general topics will be discussed with the people of Sint Maarten. So join us every Wednesday on Radio Mix 94.7 for our radio show, You Are Sint Maarten.
You are St. Maarten. You are St. Maarten.
Dear people of Sint Maarten, good evening. Welcome to your radio program, You Are Sint Maarten, on the Radio Mix 94.7 FM. I myself, Dr. Messalina, as usual, will be your host in this radio program. And as you know, I'm the surgeon in Sint Maarten Medical Center, serving the people of Sint Maarten since 1999. And since the 10th of October 2021, I'm the political leader of this promising political movement called URSM, being Unified Resilient Sint Maarten Movement that will contest the upcoming parliamentary elections for country Sint Maarten. As you know, the URSM stands, as I always say, for putting the people and the country above self and believe in educating and informing our people, because we are busy now with the formation of nation building and we are working on that concept, and only with an educated, informed people we will get through with this country in the nearby future. And we also from the URSM believe that there should be always a sound balance between economic growth and the social status, the welfare of our country. We are presenting, as you know, a weekly program in which current topics, community developments and issues and general matters concerning the people of Sint Maarten are being discussed. As you know, we are live in this radio program, and as you know, you can call in if you have any statement to make, if you have any question for the URSM. Please feel free to call us on 5437961. I repeat, 5437961. We are live, so the moment you call in, we will pick up your phone and we will listen to you. If you have anything to say or any question for us, you're always welcome, because the URSM is a party for the people of Sint Maarten. Today with me, I'm not alone. As usual, I have a invitee with me, or a candidate that is actually part of the URSM. And today I have with me as invitee, as guest, the candidate number 3 on the URSM slate, being, of course, Veronica Webster Jansen, who is a very, very known personality in our community. She has a record already that has demonstrated that she is a powerful woman, is a powerhouse in our community. And today we have, of course, the great honor to have, of course, Veronica herself, Jansen Webster, with us in our radio talk show, You Are Sint Maarten. Veronica, welcome to this great radio program.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Doctor.
Great. Veronica, today, before we continue, first of all, something impressive happened to the URSM last week.
Yes.
As you know, last week, Wednesday, we had our postulation day, in which there was an enormous enthusiasm to walk with us in mass to the Parliament building, for us to be able to hand over our URSM candidate slate with all our candidates on, to hand this over to the Central Voting Bureau, and it was a great success.
Yes, it was very exciting. It was good to see the turnout, to see the people come out to cheer us on. I mean, it for me at a given moment it was overwhelming, even because Doc, we've been busy with this for so long.
Yes.
We've been busy with this, I think, from June 2021, and then we established as a political party by the notary in October 10th, 2021, and then now the long journey. Postulation day was you reach a certain mark, a milestone. And for me, at a given moment, it was very, emotional that we got there, because we are doing this with the right intentions. We are doing this for the people, and you see it materialize now.
Of course. For me also, Veronica, it was so emotional. The moment that we handed over our list, it was like, as you said, a milestone, reaching to a historical point in the history of Sint Maarten with the URSM. For me, it was the moment that I think, okay, we are at one of the last phases that we have to go through to actually present the URSM as a solution for country Sint Maarten in the nearby future. Even more overwhelming, Veronica, was the next day, not called the postulation day, but the nomination.
Day.
I think it's great if you can tell the people how we experienced it.
Yeah, I mean, nomination day, the list opened at 9 a.m. and we had people lined up there. And I know that there were some supporters for URSM there from 7 a.m. waiting to go in. And so we went in to nomination day, and the voting bureau had told us that the first count would come out at 11 a.m. Remember, Doc?
Yep.
And then, to our surprise, they came out at 10:15 and said that they had an update. And we listened intently, and there we heard that URSM, within 1 hour and 15 minutes then, but within 1 hour, we had achieved the 134 signatures that we needed, and actually we had 156 within an hour. So and we know that it was in less than an hour we achieved that 134. And then the second party that got through within an hour was the Democratic Party. And the other parties still had to go on and wait. But it was such a good feeling to know that, people really want us to come out there and represent them. So that was like one of the best feelings for all of the hard work that we have put in putting this party together and getting it on the road.
Yes, and Veronica, was great at a certain moment once we reached the 134, because we had after an hour 156. I requested in consultation with the URSM that we must continue with the signatures to give every citizen the satisfaction that they are contributing with their signature for a new development for this country, supporting the URSM. And at the end of the day, we had more than the one of the 156.
200 and some.
We had 200 and some, I think it was 200 and almost 260 signatures that were endorsing the URSM to make sure that the URSM can contest the upcoming parliamentary elections.
Yes, very impressive.
Very impressive. Incredible. And can you imagine, in 1 hour time, you have enough enthusiastic people that believes in a new direction for country Sint Maarten, that think we are going to have this political movement to make sure that they are one of the political movements that you can vote for a change for this country. Veronica, I want to make use of this opportunity to thank every citizen of this country in general, especially for that nomination day being last week Thursday.
Yes.
I want to thank them all.
Yes.
Each one of those that have contributed with a signature to endorse the URSM, out of our heart, in the name of the board, the candidates, the members, the committee members, the advisory council, everybody that is part of the URSM family, we want to thank each one of you for your great gesture to put your signature under the URSM, to show the world, to show Sint Maarten that URSM is the coming surprise and solution for country Sint Maarten. Once more, out of our heart, in the name of URSM, we want to thank all those that signed last week Thursday for the URSM to endorse them that officially now they can contest the upcoming elections.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It was great. It was impressive. I don't have words to thank the people for the first support that we got from them. And actually, Veronica, it shows that the people are actually hungry for something new to bring a positive development for country Sint Maarten.
You know, it's a cliche, Doc, to talk about, we want to bring change. Every year you hear a party comes and they says they want to bring change. But I think that people could witness the change that we want to bring when you see us going out every week in the community and speaking to people. That's the kind of change that we want. We want to bring the government now to the people. We want to talk to the people and find out what is going on the ground. We want people to feel comfortable to approach us, to speak to us, to speak of the issues, because that's how you can deal with the issues. If you hear that something is going on, if you see something, then when you sit in an office, then it's not far away from you because you were there, you walked around and you saw it and you listened to them. And I think that approach is what is going to be the success of this party. And as I have always said, this is a party that when we get in there, and you notice that something is not going the way how you would like it to go, you hold us accountable. You can call us, you can approach us, and that's the kind of government that we want now.
Yes, we want to be open, we want to be transparent, and we want to be also exposed in a way that you have the right to approach us if you disagree with us. Because at the end of the day, we are not in for ourselves, to satisfy ourselves. We are in to facilitate whatever has to be done for everybody to get an improvement of their livelihood. That is all what the URSM want. Facilitate the people that has been suffering for a while already in this country. Veronica, we are so enthusiastic with the developments of the days that have been passed, especially last week Wednesday, with postulation and nomination on Thursday. But we have some concerns too about people that we're talking with, because as you know, Veronica, you know that we are walking and visiting all the districts in Sint Maarten. Every weekend we are going door to door, gate to gate. We are not inviting the inhabitants of a district to come to a community center or a central point. No, we are going to them, talk with them, discuss with them, listen to their concerns. But we have something that is actually worrying us a little, I think, Veronica, and I think it's good for us to discuss this openly with the people of this country. Yes,
and one of the main concerns, what we're hearing from the people when we go to the neighborhoods, and we wrote an article immediately about it when we heard about having to pick up your voting cards at the government building. And we know that it's a concern, especially for some of the elderly that I have visited. They're asking me, how are they going to get to town? They don't know which district they are voting in. So sometimes in a district there are two different voting booths, so they don't know where they have to go, and so they're asking, how do where do I have to go? How do I know when I have to go? Now, I must say that after we sent out our press release, the clarification came that if the voting card is not delivered to you at home, it is not. If you do not go and pick it up, the voting card will be delivered to you at home after. So people do not have to feel concerned or worried about it. You're going to get your voting card after, delivered at home, if you do not go to pick it up. And I must add that if still after the delivery period you still didn't get it, then you will have to go in or make a call and find out where your voting card is. Now there's a schedule out, and on the schedule there are a number, so it's this week that you could pick up the cards, and there are a number of voting booths, of voting districts per day. However, what I was pleased to see this morning is that someone from the Civil Registry Department posted and said, even if your area has passed, you can still come in and pick up your cards.
People of Sint Maarten, please, if you have missed the date that your district have been scheduled for you to go to the census office to pick up your voting card, that is understandable that you can miss it, but the other side is practically what we are experiencing, and we are very grateful to the Central Registry Office of Government Building that they are still open to help everybody that comes that requests their voting card. So if you are in town or you're in the neighborhood, you can stop and just walk in the government building with your ID card, and you're going to explain them who you are and why you're there, and you are going to, on your request, they're going to do their best to actually see if they can give you the voting cards. And I even understood that if you stand there and there are more people in your house with voting cards, that the voting, that the Central Registry in Government Building is even they are even willing to give you the voting cards of all those living in your house.
Everyone in your household, yes.
So please don't stress too much that you missed the day to go pick it up. Do me one favor, please. Please go to the government building and to the census office and just tell them that you're there to pick up your voting card. And as Mrs. Veronica Webster Jansen said, important is that if you have missed that momentum because of your busyness, your work or obligations or commitments, you still have the opportunity that once all cards has been picked up and there are some leftovers, the Central Registry will send those cards to your house. But to be honest with you, I always like to play it safe. So I advise everybody to go to the census office, go to the government building with your ID and ask them there to help you, for them to hand over your voting card. You know, Veronica, I have a compliment that I forgot that I have to make to the Central Registry of Sint Maarten for two reasons. The first is I was so impressed last week, Thursday, by the nomination day with the signature drive that needed for the new political parties. I found personnel, the civil servants, working to facilitate that activity. I found them, one, very, very client-friendly,
very friendly.
Secondly, very, very professional. And I want to compliment the civil servants that has assisted us that morning for us to make this signature drive a reality, being the nomination day. And second compliment I want to give the civil servants, that the way they are working, helping everybody that comes to the government building to pick up their voting card. I hear alone positive compliments about how nice the civil servants are to try to help everybody, to make sure that everyone that comes there gets their voting card. They even go an extra mile to help you because they really want as much people as possible to come and pick up their voting card, because at the end of the day, it's very, very important for us to make use of this democratic right that we have, for us to make use of our voting right. That's the only way that you are going to have a great democratic expression of the will of the people of this country. And the URSM is advising everybody, please, please go and vote. Make use of your voting right.
And it's from 3:30 to 6:30 in the afternoon.
Pick up the cards?
That you can pick up the cards.
That's nice that you say that,
yes.
Veronica.
And there's an additional something that if you want to pick up for your brother or your mother or someone else's household, if you go with their ID card, you can pick up for their household as well.
Veronica, can you repeat the time that everybody can go to the government?
3:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m.
Oh.
Yes.
So actually, I could go now at this particular moment till 6:30.
Yes, they are there now. Yeah.
Okay. So that is important for the people of Sint Maarten to know that you can go from 3:30 to 6:30 every working day to pick up your voting card. Don't forget your ID. It is important, of course, for them to know to who they are giving this voting card. And you can come also with the ID cards of others and tell them, listen, my brother can't come, but I have his ID card. Can you help me to give him not only his, but his whole family.
Whole household, yeah.
His wife, his children, whatever, his aunt, whatever that lives in the house.
Yes.
And that way everybody is going to get their voting card, so everybody can make use of their voting right. We have to be very, very grateful that we are living in a country that has a democratic system, that we can express and mandate the people that we believe in to manage our country for us. So once more, civil servants of government, these are so great people that are working by the civil registry, by the census office. I really, out of my heart, in the name of the URSM, we want to thank you for the extra mile that you're going to put your extra effort for this election to become a reality for Country Sint Maarten, because I think, looking into history, that this coming January will be one of the most important elections for Country Sint Maarten.
Yeah.
Things are going so difficult for this country. I think the people cannot wait for a change for this country. And there are people outside there. URSM is waiting on your support, believe me.
And that's why we, because it's such an important year. It is a year of a lot that is going on. There's a lot that's going on in the kingdom. We cannot underestimate what's happening, the outcome of the Dutch vote. And with the current outcome of the Dutch vote, you need to elect people right now who will be able to represent you on that forum, so in kingdom relations. And we have on our party, we have Mr. Summersall, who was a deputy minister plenipotentiary. We also have a number of I think out of the 19 people on our party, we did a poll and we asked how many people can speak Dutch. And we have 17 of the 19 can speak Dutch fluently.
And write Dutch.
And write and understand, yes, and negotiate.
And are educated in Dutch
in
too.
Dutch.
Absolutely.
So we need to have people who are capable to speak on a one-on-one level with kingdom partners and bring a point across and defend the rights of Sint Maarten and speak to the issues that affect Sint Maarten. So URSM is the party that's capable for that. This is an election that is important when we talk about change and we talk about how people are feeling and how people are hurting. You cannot continue the same way and expect a different result.
Exactly. If you want to change tomorrow, you will have to change today.
You have to change today.
Fantastic. Veronica, we are very enthusiastic, busy with the topic. We can't wait for the 11th of January. On the other side, time is running now at us. And I'm getting a sign here already that we will have to take a small break. And we will be back in a few seconds.
The Druggist is the pharmacy that cares. The Druggist in Simpson Bay is a full-service pharmacy with a complete selection of medication, personal care products, and cosmetics. The Druggist has a very knowledgeable staff with great service and convenient hours. Open Mondays to Fridays, 8:30 to 6, and Saturdays from 9 to 6. Closed on Sundays and holidays. The Druggist in Simpson Bay, the pharmacy that truly cares.
Van Dorp, your one-stop office, school, and art supply store.
Time for something new. Van Dorp introduces new Van Dorp Spaces. It's a completely transformed new concept store in Simpson Bay. Now open. Van Dorp Spaces is still your #1 book, art, office, and school supply store. But now there's more. Come experience a whole new way of working. Van Dorp Spaces in Simpson Bay is offering a trendy new co-working space. Rent office and desk space at hourly, daily, and monthly rates. Feel inspired in our space, equipped with Wi-Fi, printing services, charging stations, and our new Reader's Choice coffee bar. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. in Simpson Bay. Van Dorp and Madam Estate is open from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Van Dorp Spaces in Simpson Bay. Come experience something new.
Now's the perfect time to try out our co-working memberships. When you and a friend sign up for a membership, you both get 10% off. Work in a productive space alongside your favorite coworker. Visit us at Van Dorp Spaces in Simpson Bay for more information.
The business agendas for 2024 are now available at both Van Dorp in Bannerman State and in Simpson Bay.
Win a vacation for two to Sandals Resort in Jamaica using your RBC Visa credit card in the RBC Gift Yourself the Ultimate Getaway promotion. Just spend $1,500 or local equivalent. Promotion ends on December 18, 2023. Visit rbcultimategetaway.com for more details.
Hi, this is Steve Inskeep with NPR News. We've all heard, maybe even told, a story that got a little confusing and finally you just have to say, I guess you had to be there. Well, when you listen to NPR News, you are there. Public radio reporters are there for you all over the country. They see what's going on, they gather the facts, and they report it back to you. Listen every weekday.
Stay informed every 15 minutes. Mix 94.7 FM, your 24-hour news source.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second half of our radio program, You Are Sint Maarten on the Radio Mix 94.7. As was said in the first half of our radio program, we have as invité with us a powerhouse in the name of Mistress Veronica Webster Jansen. She is candidate number 3 on our list. Very dynamic. Her a professional record states already who this powerhouse is. As I said, we had a great discussion in the first half of our radio program, and we said that we had 2 concerns because we have been visiting the districts, talking with the people, as we said, going from gate to gate, door to door. Instead of inviting the people to come to a community center, we are just walking into the districts. And what we realized, we had 2 concerns. One of them was the distribution of the voting cards. And Veronica said it already, that you can pick up your voting card every working day from 3:30 to 6:30 at the government building, at the census office, at the Central Registry Department of the government building. Don't forget when you go for your voting card that you have to go with your ID. And if you have your brother, for example, that lives in another house, you can also go with his ID, and they will give you all voting cards in the house of your brother too. So the civil servants are doing everything they can to facilitate the inhabitants of Sint Maarten with a voting right, to make sure that everybody gets their voting card to be able to participate in the upcoming elections that will be on the 11th of January 2024. Veronica, that was one of our concerns that we discussed. That was the distribution of the voting cards. But Veronica, we have a second concern that we are realizing and noticing that is repeating every time again by people telling us that there are some developments that I think it's worth it to touch base on.
Yeah, you know, it's unfortunate. You go to some people and you hear them say that this issue with vote buying, it's already starting, and it's starting early. There are some people who you would go by before, and now when you return, they have been visited, and people are offering funds from other parties, and it's unfortunate. And I really want to urge the population, tell them not this time. And a lot of them have been saying it. A lot of them have been telling us, because they've been telling us they feel insulted. And they have been telling us, this didn't work the last time. After elections, you never answer the phone. There were people who asked for meeting, and the minister or the MP would just walk off and leave them there. And they felt so used. And all I could tell them was, once you take those funds from people, you have already, let's say, they have given you everything that they had to give you for the 4 years. And we were one of the first who did that calculation of what taking up to $300 is. How much is that per day when you have people in there for 4 years? Remember, they go in for 4 years and collect a decent salary, and you get the equivalent in 4 years. You get the equivalent of 22 cents. It's not even a quart a day.
Incredible.
And if they stay only 3 years, it's 27 cents, a little bit more than a quart. So imagine every day somebody just gives you a quart and you just hush your mouth. That's what vote buying is. But what I have heard is that $300 is very little right now.
Yes, I have heard other figures too,
Yeah,
Veronica. I'm
in
very
thousands.
concerned. I just have a great message for my people of Sint Maarten. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to vote once and forever coming January the 11th. Vote your conscience. See what is going on a daily basis with this country. And don't forget, especially in the last 4 years, the suffering and the challenges that you have been going through. And last minute, and that is a bad thing we humankind have, we forget very fast when we get a compensation. Somebody comes, offers you $500, and all of a sudden you tend to forget the misery, the pain, the suffering that you and your family, your kids have been going through in the past 4 years. You know, Veronica, I had a other radio interview not so long ago on our other radio station, and I have said that if people are going to vote for the URSM expecting that we're going to share money, I think they're by the wrong address, because we don't want to share Johnny Cake, a stove, and a fridge. We want to share a library, we want to share schools, and we want to share a great hospital, education with the people of Sint Maarten. So my people, please, getting to the date of elections, please stay focused, follow your vision for your country, and especially the concerns you have for your kids, for your family. The only thing you have to keep in the back of your head is we are voting for people that has this country at heart and that are working for the common interest of these people.
And, what you said just now, Doc, for, you're voting now for the future, for your children, for look at the age of your child now, and in 4 years, how old will your child be? Will your child be still in kindergarten? Will your child be now in primary school? Will they be in high school? What kind of future do you want for your children? And I have been thinking, because I was disappointed a bit this past week with people who moved on because of funds. And then I thought back on the first time I ran in 2010, that there was a young man in mid-region, and I was at the voting district. I was in the school there, and he had a baby in his arms, and I said, do the right thing, vote for me. And the guy watched me straight in my face, and he said, I have this child, and I cannot vote for you because someone gave me something, and I needed I need milk now, and you can't give me that. It's short term, but I always wonder what happened to him and what happened to that child. Where are they now? Are they contented with what they got for that? I've always thought about that, and we need to look more long term, and we need to look more sustainable development.
Yes, it's very easy to be sensitive for instant satisfaction. Like somebody comes to you and offers you $400, $500 to vote for them. But at the end of the day, you will tend to say, okay, I will do that. But on the other side, you have to think long term. What do we want for our future? What do we want for the betterment of our livelihood? What do we want with education for this country? What do we want with healthcare, hospital, the roads, improvement of the infrastructure? It's
housing,
more housing. Yes. And that is what the URSM wants. The URSM wants to touch base on all the facets that are going to contribute to improvement of life. For example, housing. We have at this particular moment 6,000 people on a waiting list for housing. I cannot imagine that you're going to forget that figure by thinking that $300 now for you to vote for others will compensate the people that are waiting, the 6,000 people waiting for housing in this country. The same for my hospital. I'm going into this building that I'm working in since 1999 as a surgeon. I cannot imagine that people are going to forget that we want a nicer hospital, better equipped hospital, because we never know in life. Health is something very, very vulnerable. Health can be affected by everyone. So we have to make sure that we have a place, that we have the comfort feeling, that we have a nice hospital that is there waiting for us in case something happens to us, to our children, to our family, to our mother, to our grandmother. And that's why Dr. Messalina is fighting hard to get in government, because we have to finalize this hospital construction that everybody knows now that is stagnated in its process of construction, and we cannot leave it for what it is. Do as if something is going on in construction while everybody knows that a lot has to happen for us to actually accelerate the construction at a velocity that it's going to benefit the finance of the country and also benefit the people of Sint Maarten.
Yeah, and it's not only it's not only the social projects either, Doc. We also underscore and understand the importance of our economy and our tourism economy at that, and in improving the product. I mean, we have a product that has dropped significantly in quality, so the cleanliness of the island, those kind of things, the traffic jams, all of those things cause tourists more discomfort. So we have to work on that, and we have seen a drop in our airlines coming to the island. So you see there where
it's worrisome.
Yes, and we need to stimulate the economy, and not only tourism, but there's a lot more that we can do in diversifying and catering to other areas. And I like to talk about a recent trip that I took to the Bahamas, for instance. It was a conference, so that's the meeting and incentives and conferences economy. It's for a meeting that I went for a conference, but you see where they use their people in the arts. They use their musicians for the opening ceremony. They had a band there at the conference, and then midway the conference, they had a cocktail reception. They had another band there, and then for the closing event, the closing lunch, they had their traditional junkanoo, because it was in the Bahamas. They had their traditional junkanoo band that was there with the costumes, etc. And that is a way of portraying your culture, because even if you have people coming for conferences, they then experience the culture of the island. And St. Maarten used to do that before, but we don't anymore. So we have to do these things to stimulate our economy. We get our artists working as well, and all part of the economy, of the show the other parts of the economy that we can work with them
and expose our culture.
And by creating these projects, we need to create something more for a tourist to do when they're here. Tourists now, if you look at what's happening in the other islands, they want to have heritage tourism. They want to see and hear about the culture, and we have very limited programs and projects like that. They want to see a vibrant city, and there's they want to hear a steel band playing something. And by stimulating all of this, and by making more products, tourism products, you will get more job opportunities for our people.
Yes.
And people want to work. People want to be able to make it here as well, and people want to be able to make it here as an entrepreneur as well. So we need to stimulate that. And everybody's talking about stimulating small businesses, but there's one curse to every small business on St. Maarten, and that is the tax assessments that they get.
Yes.
So we need to work on a system that is fair, and a tax system that is fair and that covers, let's say, a broader base, and not you're taxing these heavy and that all of these other people here are not being taxed or not even being touched or anything like that. So don't overkill this small startup businesses. Maybe just like how others get a grace period, these small startup businesses could get some kind of a grace period until they understand the tax system exactly how it is, and can comply and contribute.
I made the tax system easier to
Easier,
Yes,
yeah.
that's the problem. It's so complex and complicated. And as you said, at the end of the day, it's a small businesses that pays the highest price because they're taking a risk as entrepreneurs to begin something. And the first thing that is going to break them is the enormous load of tax that they get to take care of while they just started. We really have to think about a way to give them some breathing space that they get the opportunity also to build their own new business before the tax jumps on them and then kills them and demotivates them to continue with their initiative. That is what we have to work on. Veronica, we are also trying to stimulate investment in this country. What's something that also demotivates a lot of investors is that you're being sent to one window to the other office, to the notary, and then back, and then it's a whole confusion for people that wants to start a business. And we thought from the URSM on a one-stop shop for entrepreneurs, for those that want to invest in our country. You go to one window, one office, and from there on, everything is going to, behind that desk, everything is going to happen for you, and your contact point is only that one-stop shop.
You know, Doc, in other countries and in the Netherlands, for sure, that's how it's done. I started in government in 2000, so that's I've been around government for 23 years. I stepped out for 5 years, 4 in GEB and then 1 in the investment agency of Sint Maarten. But in those 23 years, when I came into government, I already heard about the one-stop shop. I know that a lot is being done. I work in that ministry. A lot is being done. But I think that this is something that when our government comes in now, this is something we just have to finalize and just get it done, because it's really necessary. When you need to go to the chamber and you go online to the chamber, when you register, and the system that they have too is very cumbersome. You register, and then you have to register with Economic Affairs, and before that, if it's an NV, you had to have gone to a notary. It's a lot of steps, and you get lost along the way. So what do? You go to an accountant, and some people cannot, afford to pay an accountant and to continue to pay an accountant after for every month to submit all of the taxes and so that you're in line before you get all of those assessments. So it's very cumbersome, but we should make it easier. It's already very expensive to do business on Sint Maarten. A lot of people experience that it's expensive, but we need to stimulate that so we can get more jobs going for people.
Of course. There is more that we can help the people with. You always spoke about the possibility to actually enhance the group of the middle class of this country by helping them to purchase a property, to have their own house. If you see the commercial banks nowadays, the mortgage interest rate is so high that even a decent job as a policeman married with a teacher, if they go the two of them with the 2 salaries to a commercial bank and tell them you're planning to buy a house, is it possible for you to assist us with a mortgage? They're going to get a no on their request, because that will not even be sufficient for the 2 of them with a respectable job to get a mortgage on loan from a bank. So we are even thinking, if it continues like that, we are going to see how we're going to start with initiate a development bank for country Sint Maarten, because we think with the development bank we can give people mortgages, loans at a lower interest rate, and in that way, because the interest rate is lower, people will have a little more financial space to actually take the chances to buy something, knowing that their salary will be sufficient for them to meet the monthly obligations of the payback of this mortgage.
And it's super important, to actually own your own property. I encourage all young people. When I came back home in 2000, I immediately went to look on the market. Where could I invest some money? Because the money that you make, the rule of thumb is for you to invest at least 30% of that. You need to put some money aside. If you cannot invest that amount, at least 10%. Put some money aside for an investment. How do you know it's an investment? If you're buying something that is returning money to you, that's what you need to do while you sleep. This is returning money to you, instead of when we put our money just in a car. People, like, as soon as they get their first year on a job, they go and they buy a car. But a car diminishes in
value. Yep.
So buy something that will retain value or will generate funds with you. There's an upcoming trend in Sint Maarten. It's growing wild, and that's the Airbnb. And so with little, well, not little, but you could invest in a smaller unit and buy that. You could buy it, even a group of 5 people, a group of 10 people. You can put money together and you can buy an apartment and put it on the market. However, I must say that I am, and we as URSM, we have discussed it. We do believe that the Airbnbs should contribute to the coffers of government. So right now, it's not happening. We stimulate, yes, the Airbnbs, but there should be, just like how there is a tax on hotel rooms, and the tourists who stay in hotel rooms used our infrastructure, etc. There's a tax for them, a hotel tax. There should be a tax for Airbnb, and that will generate funds to the coffers, and those funds then can assist with the various social projects, but also with environmental projects on the island.
And that's the way we have written a manifesto, Veronica, for the people. We have covered actually about 7 areas in our manifesto. We spoke about the action plan that we have for the healthcare. We spoke about the action plans that we have for education. The third one is housing. The fourth one is general welfare of the people. What can we do to increase the general welfare of the people of Sint Maarten? The fifth one was the economy. What can we do with the economy of Sint Maarten to actually contribute in a better way to the coffers of government and income for the individuals in their society, that they get a better quality of life. And we also spoke as a sixth pillar, the justice. We touched base on justice also. And the one that we spoke about in our manifesto is, of course, the environment. So it's all about healthcare, education, housing, general welfare of the people, economy, justice, and environment. And in our manifesto, we are just going in bullet points documentation. We just give an overview about what the URSM wants to initiate and do to realize a better livelihood for the people of Sint Maarten.
Like in general welfare, Doc, that's where we speak about the elderly, the various, because we wouldn't want the elderly to feel left out. There are a lot of people, elderly people who it's not only that they suffer financially right now, but also the loneliness and the disconnect from the rest of the community. And part of URSM, when we say you are Sint Maarten, and we talk about the unified resilient Sint Maarten movement, what we want to talk about is about building this country. We are talking about unifying this country, and we are talking about having everyone in this country, come together and not feel left out. So the elderly also not, and that's where we are talking about having a livable old age pension. It's not about just increasing the old age pension, but increasing the old age pension and looking at what are the costs of the elderly right now. To see that when you increase it, that at least people can make ends meet, and make ends meet in a decent manner. When we talk about elimination of the taxes on senior citizen, when I speak to some people and they hear that we actually tax the elderly, and some people are taxed, a lot, and in other Caribbean islands, that's a no-no. That the people can't even comprehend and understand. It's understandable that they have already contributed, they have worked hard, and now they are retiring, and now we are taxing them on, on so much. So we have in our manifesto on the general welfare, elimination of the taxes for senior citizens. We have assistance in home care for senior citizens. There's a lot more that can be done. Assisted living accommodations for senior citizens. So those are just some of the projects and plans that we would like to see implemented once we get the chance, and we will get that chance once you give us that vote, you give us that mandate to work for you, to work for the people of Sint Maarten. There's just so much that we would like to do.
Yes, and Veronica, if you look back, the reference is very easy. If you look back, you see what the current government is doing. You can look who are the political parties that are now forming the coalition and supporting government and forming government. They had 4 years to do something for the people. At the end of the 4 years, next to just keeping the government together for 4 years, you have to ask yourself, was that the main governing target for them to just keep it together for 4 years? But next to that, what did they do now for the people of Sint Maarten? And I think people of Sint Maarten are not happy. They are actually disappointed, and they realize one thing is that they're having some difficult, challenging moments now in this country. And I really believe, as Veronica said, the URSM stands for unification, unified. We have to show and continue taking actions to stay resilient in this country. And of course, the S and the M is for our Sint Maarten. The URSM, unified, resilient Sint Maarten. You can also look at it in a different way by saying you from you are Sint Maarten. Yes, it is. You are Sint Maarten. Don't forget it. The URSM stands for Unified Resilient Sint Maarten Movement. Or, Veronica?
You are Sint Maarten.
You are Sint Maarten. Fantastic. And I like the unified that we are, because we are now in this phase of this country fighting the whole day for each other. If you see in the political arena of Sint Maarten, if you look back what has been done on the political platform for this country, it was always about fighting with each other, creating more and more distance between the people. And I think that is wrong. If you are with the URSM or not with the URSM, we have to stay united. Sint Maarten is a very cozy living room with one front door, and everybody has right to go in and get out of that front door. So we have to stay unified with each other, because at the end of the day, we have to be one big family to make it happen in this country.
And we are there for all people. So for the people who are for URSM and the people who are not for URSM, we are there to assist all.
Of course.
We have a number that people can call, because this is live. So if people have any questions, you can call us at 543-7961. So 543-7961. If you have any questions or you would like to speak to us, ask us anything, we are live.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have been speaking about what the URSM wants. As you realize, URSM is not criticizing other political parties. We are not confronting others from other political colors. Every time the URSM is in the air, every time URSM is in connection, in communication with the people of Sint Maarten, is about that we state the current situation, but we always try to bring a solution. The only thing we want is unification of the people of Sint Maarten. We have to stop fighting with each other. The bigger aim is country above self, people above Sint Maarten, people above self. And all we want is for us to become one happy family in a prosperous country called Sint Maarten, like it used to be in the 70s, 80s.
We're hearing that a lot when we go out in the community. People are saying, they wish Sint Maarten was like it was in the 80s, especially people who migrated here. They said when they came here, they came and they met, a rich place, a place where you could make money, where you can work hard and really make a living. And now it has turned into, the place that it is. And so we want to bring that back, bring back that prosperity. And we can only do it together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with all political parties, by the way.
Yes, we can only do it together. So we have to put our best foot forward.
Fantastic. Veronica, we had a great hour with each other,
Yes, we
talking with the people of our beloved Sint Maarten. Once more, Veronica, I would like to thank you for being here
Thank
with
you,
us
Doc,
in our
for having me.
program. I don't know if you would like to make use of this opportunity to say something to the people of Sint Maarten before we finalize.
Yes, well, I would like to again remind the people that URSM is here. As Doc would say, have no fear, URSM is here. And watch us, follow us, watch what we're doing. And once you like what we're doing, we ask you to vote for URSM on January 11th. And follow me, Veronica Jansen Webster. You can follow me on Facebook, Veronica Jansen Webster. I have a personal Facebook, which is Veronica Webster, but you can always find me on the Veronica Jansen Webster. That's my political page. And follow me. I talk about myself, where I came from. I'm going over to what I want to do now. You will see more of that coming up. And once you like what you see, vote for number 3 on January 11th. Vote URSM, Veronica Jansen Webster. Thank you.
Great. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for taking your time out to be with us in this weekly radio program. Veronica Jansen Webster, thank you also for being with us.
Thank you, Doc.
And don't forget, Veronica is candidate number 3 on our list, and Dr. Marcelina himself is the leader of the URSM, and he will be number 1 on the list. At the end of the day, it's about depositing your confidence and your vote for the URSM for the big change that is waiting for Sint Maarten on the 11th of January 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us in this radio program. You are Sint Maarten on 94.7, and we are looking from the URSM forward to our weekly next week radio program live again next week Monday from 6 to 7.
Next week Wednesday
Next
we're
week Wednesday,
here.
yes.
Yeah, next week Wednesday from
Yes.
6 to 7, but next week Monday we're on our
Exactly.
table talk
On Facebook.
On Facebook.
That's live stream.
Yes, live stream on URSM.
Yes.
You can find us there on Facebook.
Facebook. Next week Monday, Facebook live stream from 6 to 7. And next week Wednesday, we are back in this great radio program. You are Sint Maarten on Radio Mix
94.7
FM. Thank you. Looking forward. Till next week, and have a great evening. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Mix FM.